like, I swear.
I don't even know this one.
Do you know Hideki had a huge porn collection?
See, I'll just read that up. No, he's Google it. Google it.
What did y'all give him this morning? He is off the racks over here, man.
He asked me specifically for Vyvanse this morning. Didn't give it to him. I was confused.
Oh, look out. Mikey is hit and down he goes. Man. And he is not happy at all. That is the second time that Mikie Mahtook has been hit in this game.
7 or 7:30 exam in the morning. So I'll walk outside.
Real life.
And I'm walking in my car, and I'm like,
damn, I know.
Man, I could have sworn I parked right here. I'm like, what? Nah, maybe it's not here. I'm gonna go look around over here, bro. I walked like 3 parking spots, like in the direction I thought I probably parked. I'm like, fuck that! I know I parked right here.
Doing that and out there playing for hours instead of just chilling on the video games is awesome to see.
Chilling on the video games. Did you just age 55,000 years?
Well, we call them Fortnite nerds.
Yeah,
you know,
chilling
Fortnite
on the video
nerds.
games.
I mean, chilling, like playing video games.
That's the way to say it, yes?
You think an old man would say chilling on the video games?
That's what you just said, yes!
You think an old man would say chilling?
On the video games?
On the video games?
Well, oh well.
You're an old man.
If you want,
Well,
I'm not a gamer.
You're getting older.
I mean, I guess
Mikey.
Just mic'd up with Mikie Mahtook. Got the boys in. I got Lloyd. We got J Mitch. We got Jackie Boy.
He tried to jump up and he might have knocked it in.
Good timing. Let's go. What a start to the Monday. I mean, I'm from Lafayette. My boys would come in, stay on
Oh God.
So me and Joe on the ground. I got Joe in the headlock, and he's sitting there. Helmet. He's punching me in the stomach, like steady punching me.
Here, and there's everyone sitting around. Who here thinks Ochinko can practice today after having 5 whole beers? He goes, Chad Jones, right? Chad's been with the team 6 minutes for 7 minutes, right? Chad's like, no man, I don't think Ochinko can practice today. And I was like, I look back, I'm like, Jesus Christ, I fucking saw you there. You were more fucked up than me.
On the Spirit plane had some issues. She was sleep farting.
You heard her, or you just thought it was her?
I sat right next to her. I smelled it.
Whoa. What was that?
Time to start the show. Why would I have that?
You had the circus or something.
6'3", I'm late. Like, I don't even know what I'd be doing.
Now, when you do go to spring training, are you going to bring your chinchilla and your turtle?
My dad tell you about that?
The SEC is, God, they hate fat people. I mean, I get crushed for that. You know what I mean? And it's like, come on, man.
Hey, just the South, bro. You got a bunch of food down here. Like they're all fatter than I am.
Players, look at Lloyd.
You know what, Lloyd?
I mean, you're looking for a recruiting coordinator, coach. I'm here.
Yeah.
He was like, I'll piss my pants right now.
No way.
We're wearing gray pants, long gray pants. He goes, I'll piss my pants right now. Hello. Good evening. Welcome back to Mic'd Up. Today is Wednesday, January 25th. We have a huge show for you today. Again, Jared Mitchell is having fun in the sun or the shade, depending on who you're talking to. He's on the beach still, celebrating his honeymoon. We had a wonderful time last weekend, at his wedding. He is enjoying the fruits of his ceremony now in his honeymoon. They are still in Cabo. They're having a good time. He will be back on the show next Monday. Lloyd is still on hiatus. He will be back hopefully here soon. We will keep you updated with what happens. But next man up, right? You got Stewie here running the production board. I appreciate that. That's not you, Stewie. This is you over here.
Yeah. A little different.
Yep. Yeah, that's not Stewie. You got Jackie Boy in the corner right there. And it's going to be us. We have, like I said, we have a big show today. We are excited. We're going to run through the Heineken headlines. Kolby Tuier. If you don't know who Kobe Tuier is, you're about to. He is a friend of mine. He is the best trainer out there. He is from Louisiana, lived in Baton Rouge, is salt of the earth, as good as they can get. He is in Jupiter, Florida now, working for Joey D Golf. He wrote a book. He trains who's who in the golf world. Justin Thomas, Tiger Woods, anybody that you can probably think of. If you're a casual golfer and you know him, he probably trains them. Trains Paul Goldschmidt, Nolan Arenado. He trained me when I was here. He's trained Matt Flay. He's done a bunch. He is the best at what he does. He is coming on the show. He is actually in the on deck circle. I'm going to go through these headlines, and then we're going to get to him. He has an unbelievable story. He is about as knowledgeable as they come, and I'm excited to have a conversation with him. Let's run through these Heineken headlines real quick. Men's basketball continues to stink. I hope that they get better. I hope that they at least show some signs going into next year. We will see. Women's basketball continues to not stink and continues to be elite. They are 20-0. They are still ranked in the top 5 in the country. Kim Mulkey is doing TikTok dances with Angel Reese and everybody on their social medias. They are having a really good time. I am excited. We are giving away tickets from the FM Digital Media. Jack is going to be, if you see Jack on campus, he's going to be running around campus with these tickets. They are free. Look at that. Look at that. You're rolling in deep, deep, deep. He's going to be rolling in deep with his tickets, handing them out, show up, sell out the house, sell out the crowd, sell out the PMAC, bring the energy. That's what they want. There's some PGA golf drama going on. Patrick Reed stinks as a human being. Rory said as much, right? Patrick Reed apparently threw a tee at him, and Rory didn't really like that very much, and they had their little. PGA golf is this is good. There's a little feuding. It's just it gives a little bit of energy into the media and leading up into this really the start of the golf season. And obviously Kolby will have some takes on that. Maybe not. Maybe he's gonna be he'll be Switzerland probably and just stay off of it. Championship weekend gets closer this weekend. Joe Burrow obviously goes up against Patrick Mahomes, the two best quarterbacks in the league. If Joe Burrow beats him, I firmly believe he supplants Mahomes as the number 1 quarterback in the league. And, speaking of Joe Burrow and Justin Jefferson, 2 of the 5 finalists for MVP, both from LSU, obviously, very well deserved. Hopefully one of them win it. You have a 40% chance? No. Is that a 40%? Is that 40% chance, right? Yeah, you're the math guy. You're the smart guy. 40% chance to win. So hopefully that happens. We will see. Those are your Heineken headlines. Heineken has been an unbelievable sponsor for us, right? I understand some people may not like Heineken, and that's okay. Tell me that. Good shot. Heineken just came out with the Heineken Silver. And if you have not liked Heineken in the past, that's okay. Heineken Silver doesn't taste anything like the other Heineken beers. Heineken is their light beer. It is 95 calories. It is 4% alcohol. It tastes very good. It's very crisp. Sit back, relax, open up a Heineken Silver. Enjoy baseball season coming up. Enjoy the LSU Tigers. Enjoy some women's basketball. If you're watching it at home, pop open a Heineken Silver. Because I'll tell you this, and look, Heineken's a sponsor of us, and I am very happy and honored that they are a sponsor. I did not really enjoy Heineken in my previous times drinking Heineken. I have learned to like it a little bit. Some people like it. Tell you what, I drank this Heineken Silver and I enjoyed it. I got a couple cases delivered to my house today actually, and I'm enjoying it. So go ahead, go try a Heineken Silver. It's their new product. It's their new beer. It's their new line. It is very light, 95 calories, 4% alcohol. It tastes really good. Try it. Thanks, Jack. That was nice. We didn't even practice that. First time. All right. Without further ado, he's been waiting long enough. We are going to get Kobe Tuier. He is in the on deck circle. Normally, I would take a break before he comes on, but he's very diligent in what he does, and he's on time, and he's early, and that's what you do. That's what champions do. So we're going to bring him on. We're going to introduce him. Kobe Tuier, Kolby K. Wayne, my guy, thank you for so much for coming on the show. I know your time is valuable. Look how good you look. You look good with the stable hat. You still owe me a hat, by the way. You still owe me a stable hat. I know you got me. Man, I appreciate you coming on. It's been a long time. Obviously, we go way back. I said it before. You're one of the best in the business, man. Obviously, I'm sad that you are not here in Baton Rouge, but I'm very happy that you were out there in Jupiter at Joey D Golf doing your thing, killing it. You wrote a book. You're doing all these types of things. Let's jump right into it. Obviously, you move from here and you go to Jupiter, and you've already had a golf background. You've trained golfers. You've been around here, but you train more athletes than that. You move there. You kind of take that next step. You get to work with guys like Justin Thomas and Tiger Woods and all these high-level athletes. How has that? Like, how do you adjust to that? Right? Every athlete has a different personality and a different ego and a different way of working, going about. How do you navigate through that, and how do you get the most out of the athletes that you train?
Yeah, because we lived it, right? So just coming into this situation, it was just an opportunity for me to kind of just get better at my craft and just try to take the next step and just try to cement and plant myself in this industry from a sports performance standpoint. Dealing with athletes, like you said, like everybody's got different personalities, everybody's got different gear. And, for me, it's me just having an opportunity to be on you guys' journey, like I was on yours, and getting you to buy into what we're trying to accomplish and letting you know that if you do this, it's like anything else, like we're going to get 1% better every day, but we're willing to do the things that nobody else is willing to do to get better. And once I can get you to buy into that, then I can get you to perform at a level you never really dreamed of.
And I can attest to that. When I went to you in 2013, I didn't have a great year. 2014, I went to AAA, I had the best year of my career, right? Obviously, I told some stories off the air, how you are able to allow the athlete that you're training to use their body more efficiently and get the most out of it without saying, oh, you have to squat 500 pounds on the squat rack or, clean 700. Without having to put all this heavy stress and strain on your body, you're able to get the most out of your athlete. And in the training world, there's a bunch of trainers out there. They have celebrity trainers. You have the Instagram trainers. You have all these people that are telling you what to do and what not to do, right? What differentiates your system? Necessarily, obviously, anybody can learn what you do and kind of do it, but you're the best at it, right? What do you preach? What do you practice? What differentiates what you do compared to what other people do?
Yeah, my whole thing is I'm a movement guy, right? What I used to always tell you, like if I'm looking at you from a kinetic chain standpoint, the body has to work with some type of synergy. So you're only as strong as your weakest link. So what we're able to do is in the gym, if I can identify where your weakest links are and what parts don't function, if the glutes don't work, then I know that the knee's not stable. I know you're not going to have hip mobility. I know if the foot isn't stable, you're going to have limited ankle mobility. Well, that works up the kinetic chain. So when you have these dysfunctions, it's a power gap. It's a sports performance like power gap that we're trying to get you to a specific level to be able to perform. So when I can identify what's weak and what's imbalanced, right? If what's tight and what's non-working or what works too much or what overcompensates, if I can identify those things. And now when I get you in the gym, if we can attack those things first, now all of a sudden you go from playing a sport with two muscles that are doing all the work to now I got you firing 40 to 50 muscles that are working now. And that's a game changer in sports performance, right? We're trying to get that edge. So it's just like with anything. If it's a baseball player, it's literally giving you 5 extra swings at the ball instead of 3, right? It's allowing you to stand and count longer. It's allowing you to control your hips. It's allowing you to feel separation. When we talk about the oblique sling, how the shoulder moves forward, but the hip moves back. So when we think about loading properties, like that's kind of how my brain works. Because you guys, when you work with athletes, you're already blessed with that specific trait. Athletes are athletes, but that's kind of like your curse too, because you just find a way to get it done. So when I come in is I say, okay, look, you're a great athlete and you're in AAA, but if I can eliminate all these things, you're not going to be in AAA anymore, because now you're going to play at a level that you never dreamed of. You better get to balls that you never get to. You're going to be able to hit balls. Like if you might have had a hole in your swing or something that you didn't like, or it would kind of throw you off, you felt uncomfortable. Well, my job, and you know this, is I'm going to put you in situations that's going to make you the most uncomfortable. And when I can get you comfortable in uncomfortable situations, baseball is going to get a lot easier. Sports are going to become a lot easier because I'm going to throw everything at you. I was telling Paul Goldschmidt and Nolan and those guys in the gym today, we had a workout. And I said, if I can bring you to the deepest part of the ocean in training and you can find your way home, then baseball is easy. 2 outs in the ninth is nothing when your legs are tired because you're going to have to make a play with your legs being tired. So my job is to put that on you as much as we can, and we can revisit that. And then when the lights come on and it's game time, we've been there. So it's easy.
I'm glad you brought Paul Goldschmidt and Nolan Arenado because obviously they're 2 MVPs. They're 2 of the best players in Major League Baseball. You know, people look at, he works for Joey D. Golf, right? He trains all these golfers and, he's just a golf guy. Well, you're not just a golf guy. You train all athletes. You've trained football guys. You've trained baseball guys. And Paul Goldschmidt sought you out, right? Started training with you. Last year goes out and has the best year, one of the best years of his career, wins the MVP, right? Nolan sees what he's doing because their teammates decides, okay, I'm going to go do this, start doing that thing. How do you navigate through the different types of athletes in the sports that you have, right? Because everybody's a little bit different, right? Every athlete's a little bit more specific towards that athlete and their body works a little bit differently. How do you customize each workout and each training session to that athlete?
Yeah, it just depends on what they do.
Uh-oh. Oh, no.
I got a call.
He got a call. Hold on. Uh-oh. We're going to get him back. Get him back.
He probably got a call. Man.
Yeah, usually what happens.
Yo.
Oh, he's back. You got a phone call?
Hey, you there?
You got a phone call? Yeah.
What's going on?
Usually when the phone call comes, that's what happens. Sorry, work never stops, you know what I mean?
That's it. So the big thing is like, so each individual, like, is still, like, when you think about, so take Goldie, for instance, like, when we started, like, he wanted to do specific things in his swing, so he was kind of changing some things up where his stance got a little wider, where he didn't have to have a bigger of a leg drop, so we looked at how he loaded, like his loading properties and things like that. We wanted him to be able to start to control his pelvis better. So if we can start to control the pelvis, then everything would generate to get him from the ground up. Then you take somebody like Nolan, like a golfer. So if you think about golfers and baseball players, a golfer, when he slides into his follow through in his swing, we call it slide. When in baseball, we call it drifting, right?
Right.
So what happened with Nolan would drift in his swing because he couldn't load his right hip deep enough. And he went to like all these different people and they were like, oh, well, your hip mobility and you might have to have surgery to do this. Like, dude, you got 5 degrees of internal hip mobility. So within 15 minutes, we went from 5 degrees of internal hip mobility. In 15 minutes, he went to 42 degrees of internal hip mobility. And then literally like his velo went up, like his exit velocity went up, because now golf and baseball is kind of like almost like merging almost, because now you got TrackMans in golf, you got Rapsodos in baseball, we can club fit in golf, we can bat fit in baseball now. So you're getting numbers now. We're getting bat speed. So bat speed shot up 6 miles an hour. Exit velocity, ball speed went up to 12 miles an hour. Like, these things were going crazy. So the Cardinals were going nuts. They were like, what is going on? Like, you guys literally were like, what are y'all doing? And the best part was so funny because I remember Nolan was like, hey man, like, what do you call this training? I was like, what do you mean? He's like, well, man, people are asking me, like, what are we doing? I said, man, I have no idea. Like, I just do whatever he tells me to do. I can't explain what we're doing. It's just crazy. It's like you're doing stuff that you've never really done before. But it goes back to your first question, what we were talking about. Like, so you could take someone like Paul, you can take someone like Nolan, I could take someone like Tiger, I could take someone like Justin Thomas. Internal hip mobility is always internal hip mobility. So it's the same thing. So when I'm testing you and I want to see how your body functions, it was just like you're a great athlete. And like I told you, it's like shooting a cannon out of a canoe. Like, you got a V12 engine, but you got a 4-cylinder chassis because your body can't function. So now you got to compensate. So there's some deceleration. You don't trust it. You don't let it go. Like, even Nolan told me last year, like, he got to balls in the infield that he never even dreamed that he could get to.
That's a platinum glover too at third base. It's unbelievable.
Yeah. So I mean, the stuff that we were doing, and he credited to like what we were doing in the season, and even during the season, because like off season and the season, because it was funny because it's 2 different people, right? You always talk about those personalities. Like Paul, I can text you to work out,
right?
And I gotta send Nolan videos. Like, man, there's no chance. If I put like single leg band press or bipedal.
Hey, what the hell is that?
Yeah, he's like, hey man, just send me videos. So I literally send Paul. I text Paul the workout, but I send Nolan the videos. Now I'm telling you need to keep your eye out on this guy. So, and this is why I love, like, just like with you guys, like, it's such an honor for me to be on the journey with these guys. And then you guys like believed in my training and gave me an opportunity to be on a journey with you. And, you and I have had long conversations about that. And the crazy thing is, so like Paul and Nolan are in the dugout, and Brendan Donovan, basically he won the Gold Glove this year as a utility player. And he literally he said he's in Wrigley Field and he hits the ball and he thinks he hits it out and it doesn't go out. He gets back in the dugout and Paul and Nolan's like sitting there, and he's like, man, how I hit the ball as hard as you guys. And they go, don't worry about it, we got it. So literally, they sent Brendan to me in South Florida to live here, and they're paying for him to train.
Wow.
So I mean, that's the game. That's the biggest compliment you can get. So now, and this Brendan to this year, I mean, I can already tell how he's moving from the first time I saw him to now. And like, he texted me today and basically said, man, I hit lasers all day today and put that off, in the cage. So it's already starting to happen. So
it's amazing. It's amazing that team though, right? Because like you don't. I mean, you've been around athletes all the time. Like you don't see that doesn't happen normally. Oh, hey, these two veteran guys who are solidified, they're going to go ahead and pay for this young kid because they know it's going to be better for them in the long run, right? Like you don't normally see that. That just shows a testament to how they are as people.
Yeah, just great people. I mean, just like you guys, like everybody. I've been so fortunate to work with some great people. Like I tell people all the time, man, I'm so lucky and I'm so thankful because I'm standing on the shoulders of giants like you guys that allowed me to be able to build this platform, and guys that believed in me from the beginning. I mean, you sat there and listened to me on a dirt baseball field talk about training, and like this is 12, 13 years ago. I mean, it's just you can't make this stuff up. I was actually looking at videos the other day. I was where I had you in that baseball park. We were running up that hill.
Yeah. It was like 42 degrees. It was freezing cold.
Yeah. But it's all part of the journey, and it's just like when these guys give me this opportunity, like, man, I just don't, I want you to know, and it's always the same way, like, man, like, I want you to win 4 MVPs. I don't want you to win 1. I want you to win as many as we can win. It's about I want it just as bad as you want it.
Right.
And like that's the big thing. I think in this industry, like it's all about energy, but it's all about sacrifice. And that's what I think the biggest thing that people don't see is that other side of it, the sacrifices that these athletes make, the work that's put in where, I mean, look at me, man, I'm just lucky, man. Like these guys, they can train anywhere. And they choose to let me work with them.
Well, I'm glad
I'll never take that for granted.
I'm glad you talked about that because one of the things that make you so good, right? And at least that, everybody that I've known down here that's trained with you and everybody that I know personally that has trained with you, right? Like you have a bunch of trainers and they're really only in there for themselves kind of, and they want you to get better, but they don't really buy into the athlete. They just, hey, you come in there, here's, pay me for my session and, what you get better or you don't get better, that's up to you. You take it the other way, right? Like you are a great motivator. You're able to be next to us. And man, when I was working out with you, I felt like I could have run through a brick wall. I feel like I could hit a ball 700 feet. Like you're just able to get the most out of the athlete because of the way that you approached them and the way that you treated them. Mm-hmm. Where does that come from? Have you always been that way? Is that something that you've kind of developed? Is that part of the journey that you took on through the course of your life? Like that's a very rare thing.
Yeah, man. It's just, of course, like my life story, I mean, it goes, I think it's drawn me to this and just to have this attitude of just, man, it's always good, like no matter what's going to happen, I was born, of course, like I had
oh no.
Like born with a birth defect. I wasn't supposed to walk. And, I had 5 surgeries and doctors told me I would never walk. I'd have like a 25%. I'd be like in a wheelchair and all this stuff. So, man, I've been told no, but I had to find a way to figure it out, and for me, it's like getting you guys, and that's what I tell you guys, man, if I can give you, if it's like being able, like we're like foxhole brothers. Like if you look over there and I'm calm, then you're going to be calm. Yep. It's like, I want we have to find a way to figure it out. And if it's bad, there's always good. I tell people all the time, like, that's good. The rep wasn't good, but I'm telling you it was good.
Right.
Because I know you're going to feel it. Like when you're in there and I put you on an unstable surface and I make you do something like that, you're like, there's no chance I can do this.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, like the next session comes and all of a sudden, and then I always remind you, like later on, I'm like, remember how hard this was? Now you're doing it on one leg. kneeling on a Bosu ball, doing this, doing that. And then it was like, when we first started, it was a simple side plank. And now we just create these things. And I tell people all the time, like, if I can get you through it and I can bring you through it, then when the lights come on,
Are you going to come back? Come back? I don't know. Did you get another phone call?
Probably. So he's still like in there.
We'll see.
Yeah, he's still connected.
Hopefully, as long as the internet doesn't go out.
Yeah. I think I'm good on this end.
All right.
On our internet side.
I'm going to text him and say, hey, I think that you got a phone call. Uh-oh. He was getting rolling, too.
Mm-hmm. He's making me want to go train.
He may need to call back in.
Yeah, he got disconnected.
Yeah. Says the host disconnected.
Mm-hmm.
So does he need to call back in?
Yeah, just tell him to click the link again.
He's making me want to go train, trying to walk on.
I know. Hey, where were you 5 years ago?
Shit. I wouldn't be sitting here if I trained with him.
He's the best, dude. I'm telling you, he's the best. Like he's salt of the earth, bro. He's the best person I've met. One of the best people that I've ever met, right? And he cares about the athlete. He's back in.
Yeah.
You back?
I don't know what happened.
Sorry about that. That's our fault. That's our fault.
That's all good.
So
No,
just to summarize. Sorry.
Yeah. So I mean, no, the big thing was like, like my whole life, I think what drawn me to helping people is I don't know how much you got that before we got disconnected, but like having a birth defect, being told I wasn't going to walk, having 5 surgeries, doing all these different learning how to walk 3 times, like 4 times in my lifetime because my surgeries were so severe. I'd be in cast for like 6 months. So like I had to figure it out. Like I had 2 choices. I could either feel sorry for myself or I can fight through it. And for me, I feel like that's why it's pushed me to just work. You know the way I am. Like I still do it, man. I put my head down and I run as fast as I can. And it's every day to me is a blessing. Yep. Like every day I'm trying to be better. So when I get around athletes or I get around my clients, like that's all I'm trying to do, man. I got an hour to make you better.
Yep.
And that's the only goal I got for that hour. I'm completely locked in, and my goal is to get you better. And that's all that matters to me. Like, I don't care what's happening after this or what. I'm not thinking about anything besides when I got Mikie Mahtook at 12 o'clock or I got Tiger at 1. From 1 o'clock till I'm done, it's about that athlete. Yep. It's about getting him better. It's about getting him back to where we need to get him to. If it's Paul Goldschmidt, if it's Brendan Donovan, if it's Mason Crosby and my kickers, I came down here now. I'm turning into like the kicking whisperer now. I've got place kickers and punters, and it's so crazy like how you just slide on those sides of the spectrum. It's like now I got Drew Lock. It's like I worked with Drew Lock last year, and man, it was just like that. He had the best. His preseason was amazing. He got traded to another team. He's on his 8th offensive coordinator since he's been in the league. Right. And he's just like, I know what you're going to say. You're going to say that's good. And I do. I tell, hey, man, what I used to tell you all the time, like you would see me training those guys. I'm like, you got to run every route on the tree because you got to got to make the decision for that coach. The only decision he can make is that you on the team.
Yep.
You got to make the decision for him. But if you go out there and you lack asset and you don't work and you're not putting it in and you only can run one this or you're good at one thing and so you're just going to keep doing the thing you're good at, then you're going to keep getting the same results.
No doubt.
So like we got to make that decision, the hardest decision for that coach. When I'm working with college athletes, it's the exact same thing. Like you got to not worry about what's happening tomorrow or what happened yesterday. It's about being in the moment. It's about being present, and it's about getting better right now.
And we, as athletes training with you, feel that, right? Like, there's been times where I've sent you text messages throughout the course of the year and, like, motherfucking something or, like, complaining about something, and you're the first person to be positive, but you're also the first person to kind of kick me in the ass and say, you got to snap out of this because this isn't going to do anything for you. So we, as athletes, feel that from you, which I think is a huge, there's not a lot of people that do that. And you mentioned Tiger, obviously, and everybody Tiger is one of the most elite athletes of all time in any sport, in any profession. He's the best at what he does, and I don't know if there'll ever be another Tiger. I don't think there'll ever be another Tiger. Well, Tiger has gone through some things, and he has some big-time adversity, and he reaches out to you. How does that happen? Like, when Tiger reaches out to you, do you say, "Oh, get the hell out of here. This ain't Tiger Woods." Like, how does that conversation go, and how does that make you feel? Because now you realize, hey, I'm working with the mecca of athletes, right? Tiger is literally the top of the top athlete. How does that happen, and what goes into that?
Yeah, I mean, it was just a simple text message, and it was crazy that I got it, and I was like, this can't be.
Right.
This, no chance. But it was. So then it was game time for me. It was like, okay, well, let's get to work then. And there was no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And then we got in there and we worked as hard as we could.
And how is he as a client?
He's unbelievable.
Yeah.
He's one of the hardest workers I've ever been around. Like, it's no accident. It's like with all these things, like I think people, when I do interviews or something like that and I talk about athletes, right? And you know this as well as anybody. It's like, some people out there will look at an athlete and go, oh man, like, yeah, I wish of course he's hit 5 home runs and blah, 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 or of course he won another golf tournament, or of course but I think what they don't see is how much sacrifice and how much work's put in. Like when someone wins a golf tournament, man, like when I talk about hang the banner and I congratulate them and stuff like that. And, because I know there's so much work that's put in to get to that point. There's so much work that's done, like on Monday mornings. I've got guys I got Justin Thomas wins a golf tournament on Sunday. We fly home. We get home at 2:00 in the morning after he does media and signs all the memorabilia and stuff. And when I get off that plane, I look at him and I was like, I'm gonna see you at 9 a.m. because it's over now. Now, what are we gonna do now?
Right.
He just laughs because he knows, and it's non-negotiable. It's like, what do you want to do? You want to win 1 or you want to win 20?
Right.
Because I want to win 50.
Right.
Like,
right.
I mean, you want to win. I want to win them all. So, and that's what I want for you. And we gotta create that culture. We gotta create that culture where what now?
Yep.
How good do you want to be, and how hard are you willing to work to be that good? And that's what Tiger brings every day. You look at something that he literally works like he's never won a golf tournament in his life. So it's no accident when you see these guys like that. When you see Paul Goldschmidt that comes in and you see what the season he's had at 34 years old, and I was doing articles with Athletic and all these different people saying like, what's going on? Like, this is never, this guy's literally in the Triple Crown race at 35 years old.
Right.
And it's like, but it's like, and it's what's the best part about that whole thing is I know how much work he puts in. Like the text messages that we get every night, the back and forth, like him sending me questions. What about this? What about this? I feel like this. What do you think about this? And that's how we've always done. Like you would come out of there and be like, I feel like you guys get so in tune with your body. You know what you need. Like, what's happening now. And that's what I've always wanted to do for all my athletes. Not create something that you create inside of you, I can put inside of you, the athletic side, the athlete, the will to compete and the passion to compete. Like, I can't teach you that. You have that now.
Right.
Now it's giving you the tools for the journey to be successful.
Yep. And as you age, the way you train and what you do and the types of training changes with it, correct? Right? Like, Paul Goldschmidt at 24, 25 was a different person than he was at 34. How do you adapt to that, right? Like, how do you, is that just giving him screening, or is that just saying understanding like each of their bodies or what?
Yeah, it's just, the biggest thing for me, for athletes, and it's funny because like most guys, when I get these guys in, they're so used to overtraining. Right? They're so used to doing so much. And I'm like, no, man, we're just going to do this. And he's like, well, when you want me to see you? You want me to see you tomorrow? I'm like, no, I'm going to see you Wednesday.
Right.
He's like, what? He goes, what do you want me to do tomorrow? I said, I want you to sleep. And I want you to eat. And I want you to hydrate. I don't want you to do anything. He's like, wait, what? Because like they never could process it that way.
Right.
And then once I get you to do that, then as we ramp the things up, you're like, man, this is unbelievable. Because it's all about knowing when to push and knowing when to pull back.
Yep.
And in creating those avenues, because like how you tell, I'm not trying to build a plane. I don't want a plane that takes off and then levels off. Like I want to build a rocket that we're constantly increasing as the season goes on. And then after the season ends, I mean, that's the best thing in the world. Like the season ends. Perfect example is I'm literally texting because they were both in the MVP race, Nolan and Paul.
Right.
And we're texting because we don't know who's going to win. So they're texting me and we're FaceTiming. They're on the couch and doing all this stuff. And what I love about more than anything, and it's like that's those moments where you're like, this is what it's all about. Like Paul wins the MVP. And literally at 9 o'clock, they make the announcement. And at 9:15, Paul texts me. He goes, I can't wait to start training again.
That's it.
You know, like, you know what I mean? Those are the things. And then Nolan's like, Paul wins it. He's congratulating Paul. And he's telling me, like, what you want to do tomorrow.
Yep.
You know, they're ready to get back in it. You know, like they don't like, you know, I mean, that's the stuff that I think the other side of it that the people don't see, the sacrificing and like how, you know, I can either go out, we can hang out, we can do this, but same thing with you, man. Like nobody, you chose to go out there and run at 30-degree temperature on a Saturday. You know what I mean? Where everybody else is going tailgating and you and I are out there running sprints in 38-degree weather. You know?
It's just, that's what people don't see, right? They don't see like how much the athlete loves it, and that's it's impossible to see because you don't, you know, you're not around these guys enough, and that's what separates the elite from the average, right? And so
there's so much work. There's so much work that's done.
Yeah, I mean,
there's so much work. There's so much sacrifice.
You have so much work, right? Like you do so many different things, right? You've come there, you've built your brand, you've worked for Joey D Golf, you've been able to create this program. You've written a book. If people want to see your book, how do they get to your book?
Yeah, they just go to hangthebanner.com. So that's kind of like what I did. I wanted to make a book in the golf because, like, you know, I've had a pretty good run for the last 5 years, and people approach me. It's like, hey, man, you want to write it? We need to write a golf book. We need to write a golf book. I said, look, I'll write a golf book, but the only way I'm going to write this book is I want every athlete that I worked with that plays golf, it's got to be in the book.
I love that
because it's not about me. You know what I mean? I'm just a piece. I'm just a piece. And, you know, and if God put me in these athletes' lives for a reason and I'll do my part, and then if they can reach the pinnacle and do the things they want to do and be successful, I mean, man, look, that's what it's all about. So I finally did it, wrote it, and it's done great. You know, I mean, we got to like the bestseller on Amazon and stuff. So, I mean, it's just a blessing, man. It's just all that. So, you know, and then what I'm going to do now is I'm going to write another one, but it's going to be about all the athletes. So I'll be reaching out to you soon.
I can't wait
to do the same thing.
I can't wait
because now we're going to get deeper into. We're going to peel the layers back a little more and understand about why we train this way. Why I take a Mikie Mahtook and we train in these sports vectors, and why the difference between that and these other things, and how it crosses over the spectrum and just encompasses every sport.
Has Tiger gotten you to work with Charlie yet?
Oh, man, it's all good. I work with all of them.
I know you do. I'm not going to put you on the spot. But I know golf season's ramping up, so I know you're about to start getting extremely busy. Man, I love you, bro. I appreciate you coming on the show. I know that your time is sensitive. Next time you're in Louisiana, hopefully sooner rather than later, you know, I'll see you and do whatever. But, man, if I'll be in Jupiter, hopefully, you know, I'll come visit you or do something. We'll go play some golf. You can teach me something.
Absolutely.
I need some help on the course.
Your family forever. Anytime you need anything, you know that. You always got a spot in the stable, for sure.
Appreciate it, K. Wayne, man. I appreciate you, bro, and good luck this year.
All love. Thank you.
Man. Later. Boy, you want to go work out?
Yeah.
Yeah? I mean, that is a little bit of a insight of what my off-season training would be. Like I'm testing your abilities with this camera right now on air. How about that? He is the best guy I know. He's the most intelligent trainer I've ever been around. He is the most motivating guy I've ever met. And obviously, you can tell by the athletes that he trains and by the, you know, feedback he's getting. I mean, Tiger Woods isn't going to reach out to him if he wasn't that good. You know what I mean? So I'm happy that I got him on. We'll definitely have him on at some point again. You know, we'll have, whenever he has his book, hopefully have a nice little piece in that book. I'm gonna raise this up just a little bit more. Look, see it. Look, we have this little technology here. I need to get the helmet in there. Boom, boom, like that. Is that too high? No, I'm good, huh? Yeah, it looks good. So yeah, that's K Wayne, bro. It's stable. He's not the place that we work out is not called the stable. That's just kind of the athletes that he has called the stable. But he's a real deal, man. I mean, he's Tiger Woods and Justin Thomas and all these guys, and I'd imagine the baseball guys are only going to get bigger and bigger. So, all right, we're going to take a 30-second break, kind of get regrouped, gather up, figure out the next move on the show, and we'll be right back. You're watching Mik'd Up. We will be back in 30 seconds. Today's show is brought to you by Dos Equis. Here in Louisiana, we like to have a great time. If you're looking to be the life of the tailgate, check out Dos Equis mini kegs. Hold 16 beers, easy to tap, easy to pour, easy to chill. Check it out. Become a life of the party. You're welcome. Our What's for Lunch segment is brought to you by Doe's Eat Place. Maybe the best burger in town. If you're not looking for lunch, you're looking for dinner, go check out Doe's Eat Place. They have unbelievable choice of meats. They have unbelievable tamales. They have a great atmosphere, great vibes. If you're looking for a homey Louisiana type of atmosphere, but you're looking for high quality food, Doe's Eat Place is your spot. Go in the back bar, sit at the bar, have a couple drinks, watch some games, enjoy the atmosphere, enjoy the vibes. Check out Doe's Eat Place, the best place in Baton Rouge to get your meat. I am Mikey. My co-host Jay Mitch is out of town still. He is enjoying his honeymoon. He deserves it. He's earned it. He's gonna be gone for the rest of the week. He'll be back in the studio next Monday. If you're just joining us, you missed the interview with Kobe Tuier. You can go and rewind on YouTube and go ahead and watch it, or you can wait till the show's over and we'll just post it and you can watch it then. We're gonna have clips of it. Obviously, he gave a lot of insight. He gave a lot of nuggets on how he goes about his business. He's very genuine. He's very he wants the best for his athletes, and it's evident in the way the athletes work for him, right? And so I'm glad he was able to come on. I was glad he was able to give a little bit of his insight. I wish, Jared, because Jared's worked out with him too, so he has a different perspective on it. But,
Ooh, I wonder who his better client was. You or Jay?
I was his longer client, okay? I was there longer, all right? I went to him when he was in Jupiter a little bit. Now, I wish I could work out with him every day, but I had to go. He would send me the workouts. I would do it. It's just not the same when you're not with him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But he was always checking on me. He was always, there. I could send him text messages throughout the course of the year, and he was always, right there to respond. So, but, we got other sports we need to talk about. And, staying on the golf level right now, the golf topic, PGA Golf has some drama with Rory and Patrick Reed. So apparently, Patrick Reed is probably the most hated person on tour. Right, he's probably not.
Doesn't he sign with Live Golf?
Yeah, he's with Live Golf, and so or not. He used to be the most hated guy on tour. Now he's probably the most hated guy on Live Golf in golf. Period. Mm-hmm. Right. So he's there. He's actually from Baton Rouge. Mm-hmm. Right. He's made some waves. People don't really like him. Well, Rory is one of the faces of the PGA Tour. He's extremely talented. He's very good at what he does. He's won majors and all these types of things. Well, Rory and Patrick have a little bit of a scuffle, right? Patrick Reed goes to try to tell him hello, and Rory doesn't give him the time of day, ignores him, and Patrick Reed throws a tee at him. And then Patrick Reed comes in the interview after and says, he made some smart-ass comment. Well, let's rewind a little bit. Patrick Reed apparently, filed he had Rory McIlroy subpoenaed at his house on Christmas Eve. So he's enjoying his time with his family, and he gets a knock on the door, and he gets served some papers by a guy because Patrick Reed has subpoenaed him to appear in court and suing all this stuff. So that's obviously not good blood, bad blood. This happens, and I don't think anybody's going to take up for Patrick Reed. I'm not going to sit here and talk a ton about it because it's one of those things. I just thought it was funny, and I thought it was pretty petty, and I'm just happy that Rory is way cooler than Patrick Reed, and it just makes Patrick Reed look like an idiot. So we're going to start that. The real big conversation, though, is championship weekends this weekend. It's NFL. We can talk LSU football. We'll get into that. We have some transfer portal stuff, but right now is a down period. The transfer portal is closed right now. The second, the original signing day is in next week. Is it next week?
Next Wednesday.
Next Wednesday. It doesn't look like LSU is going to sign. They may sign one person in that signing class, maybe one high school guy. They've gotten they've filled their roster with transfers that have come in. We're going to go through the guys that have left and the guys that are here. I guess we could do that right now since we're on topic, right? So as far as we've added, was that 1, 2, 3, 4,
10,
12. We've added 12 players to our team via transfer portal. Out of those 12, 11 of them are on the defensive side, and a lot of those guys 11. Aaron Anderson is on here twice. But out of those 11, 10 of them are on the defensive side, and out of those 10 on the defensive side, a lot of those guys have played meaningful snaps at high levels in big-time college football. So, cornerback position was area of concern. We're lacking depth. We're lacking enough bodies there. We have brought in 4 defensive backs, including Denver Harris, who was a 5-star cornerback coming in as a freshman at Texas A&M. You bring in Zy Alexander from Southeastern Louisiana. He was an All-American, FCS All-American. You bring in J.K. Johnson from Ohio State. He has some significant snaps. And you bring in Darian Deuce-Chestnut from Syracuse as a freshman, was an All-American, correct? Mm-hmm. He was a freshman All-American there at Syracuse. So you have 4 guys who are extremely talented, who have done it, who have shown it, then come. Then you bring in Aaron Anderson, obviously from Baton Rouge. He was at Alabama, transfers here. He's our lone offensive player that we got in. He is going to be an added addition to the receiver room, especially after you've lost a few guys out of that room. And more importantly, he is a very good return specialist, which if you pay attention this year, we struggled a little bit in that area, but he is there. You bring in, linebacker was the other area of concern. You bring in Omar Spates. I think he was the best linebacker guy in the portal at the time, right? Really, not at the time. Maybe the entire portal season because
first team All Pac-12.
He's first team All Pac-12. He's a senior. He's got a lot of time on experience under his belt. Maybe not strictly based off of talent, but as far as like production and what he's done on the field and his experience, I don't think that there wasn't much better out there, right?
Hard to argue with 300 career tackles.
Absolutely. And the linebackers in the portal were very few and far between. So to get him to come down here as a senior experienced, he'd be able to plug in right there and at least give you some, much needed experience in the linebacker spot. You have 2 defensive ends and 3 defensive tackles. One of them is kind of a hybrid defensive end, defensive tackle. So you lose the whole defensive line, basically, the starting defensive line minus Mason Smith because he's going to come back, right, from injury.
And
Wingo. But 3 of the 4 that started majority of the year out. You bring in a game changer in Mason Smith, and you bring in these guys. So you kind of replenish what you've lost. I think they did it extremely, they've did a very good job of doing that. And obviously, look, if you go look at a lot of the guys that have left, you are, looking at guys that you believe that, bigger names. Obviously, Walker Howard is the biggest name to leave. That is a tough one. He is going to Ole Miss. Everybody wants to talk about the quarterback battle and him leaving from one situation and going to the exact same situation. I don't believe that is the case. We will find out, obviously, sooner rather than later. I don't believe that he is going to be the third-string quarterback there. But transferred to Ole Miss, that is a big loss. DeMario Tolan, who seemed like he was slotted to be the starter, transfers to Auburn. And Jack Besh, who has had some moments here at LSU, decides he's going to go to TCU. Those would probably be the big three that you missed. Rodarius Jones had some talent. He went to Mississippi State. But, those big three probably were the ones that you're like, damn, I wish you would have been able to keep those. But you replace those with some other talented guys. And, I think LSU put themselves in a really good spot going into the offseason. It's going to be interesting to see how the defense shakes out. I think the offense is pretty much set, right? Actually not minus anything. Maybe the running back position, but I would imagine
it's still going to be a lot of the committee.
Yep, for sure. And so it's just a matter. It's gonna be interesting to see how they use their tight ends this year, because now they actually have some tight end depth. You have some extremely talented tight end. Mason Taylor's going on year 2. He had a great year as a freshman. Now you're bringing in Pimpton.
And
I said it right.
They have another tight end freshman.
You good over there?
Yeah.
All right. You struggling a little bit right now?
But I don't know how to say it. Mac Markway and Jack McGlothern. Something like that. It's not.
Yeah. So you got some depth in the tight end position. We know that's what they want. I think that with Mason Taylor and Pemberton, I think Pimpton.
One day you won't say it.
One day I won't say it. Pimpton. I think with those two, I think you put. Those are basically like wide receivers, especially Pimpton. I think Pimpton, the way he moves and runs, and he's
the build of Megatron.
Exactly. So I think they're in a really good spot. Listen, it is basketball season for a little bit longer until baseball season starts. But let me rephrase this. It's women's basketball season. It's women's basketball season because the women's basketball team is 20-0. There's only 2 undefeated teams in the league, right? And they play each other in 2 weeks.
On Super Bowl Sunday.
On Super Bowl Sunday, they play each other, right? South Carolina's 20-0. LSU's 20-0. I would imagine that they're both going to be undefeated by the time that they play each other. I would hope. That'll be probably whoever wins that game will be the number 1 team in the country. And, LSU women's basketball has put themselves in a really, really, really advantageous position this year. But then coming in next year, they have the number 1 recruiting class in the country. They have 2 McDonald's All-Americans. They have the number 1 player in the country. They're just going to keep reloading. And they're going to be, I would imagine that Kim Mulkey is going to have multiple championships here. There'll be a statue built of her.
If she wins one this year, then the rest of the country's in for a long wait because they're only getting better.
Yeah, it's going to be very fun. They're packing out the PMAC. That's Kim's going to be able to do whatever she needs to do and wants to do to make their program successful, and she's done it everywhere she's been. Right? She's had 20 years, I think, of being a head coach, maybe longer than that.
I think it's 25 years of 20 wins.
That's it.
Something like that.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive.
She hasn't ever lost less than 20 games?
No. I've never won less than 20 games.
That's what I said.
You said loss.
Oh, yeah, I meant one.
I hope they had never lost more than 20 games. But yeah, never won less than 20 games. That's impressive. Obviously, 20 is always kind of like that benchmark that you look for in basketball. But so it's women's basketball season. Men's basketball, it's a tough product right now.
You know how hard it is to only score 40 points in a college basketball game?
They did it.
They could have scored 10.
They did.
They scored 18 in the first half.
I thought that the first half, I was like, this is, and then they went on a little mini run. They got it down to 11. You thought they were going to get to double digits, and then they lost out. But
where's their next win on the schedule? Because
I don't know if they have one.
They have
the way they're playing
next year.
They got Texas Tech on Saturday, and they're always decent. I don't even know if they're ranked, but Texas Tech's always never an easy win.
Yeah.
And then the SEC is just
you just gotta figure out a way to score, man. That's the thing is they don't have the ability to score. What was the highest point total of a guy? It was KJ Williams, I'd imagine.
Him and Adam both had 9. That was the highest one.
Yeah.
They didn't have a single double-digit score.
And KJ Williams has been the only one scoring points. And if he's not scoring, then nobody's scoring, and that's not good, right? They turn the ball over too much. They're getting out rebounded. It's just not. It's not a good product. Obviously, Matt McMahon's his first year. He's had a tough situation to go into. Hopefully, it can be turned around. Hopefully, they show some signs toward the end of the year to build into next year and bring in, a recruiting class, right? Now,
or develop some of the 5-stars that are there.
Right. And for him, his big recruiting pitch would be, hey, you're going to be able to come and play.
I don't think they have any 5-stars.
Yeah, they have 2 5-stars on the bench as freshmen. Jalen Reed is a 5-star, and the other guy.
Ward's a 5-star.
And Ward's a 5-star.
Phillips is, I don't know why he's not like. If we're struggling with rebounding so much, why is the 7-foot 4-star on the bench?
Yeah, you have guys that have been rated that just haven't done anything.
Well,
like Jalen Reed came as a 5-star.
Well, it's like if we're losing, why not just let the young guys develop? Why is the 7-footer on the bench? I don't get it.
Yeah,
I don't know. Too small. Might not be ready.
Well, that's what he's got to get ready. So might as well let him play.
At this point, what are you getting ready for? You're gonna have to go take your lumps.
SEC tournament at this rate.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. Listen, the season doesn't look good. Hopefully, something were to happen towards the end of the year and they start playing better. Listen, if you make it to the tournament and you get hot, I don't think they're gonna win the tournament, the SEC tournament, but at least be competitive and make the games entertaining. I don't want to crush them too much because. It's a tough situation.
Here. He's gonna win here. He's just gotta give him.
I think he's a very good coach. We got to figure out how to find some offense.
This is what everybody thought BK's first year was going to be from the national media perspective. They thought football was going to be like this.
Yeah. Boy, were they wrong.
Yep.
All right, let's move on to the NFL. Because football in the NFL right now is winding down. You're in championship weekend. You have AFC and NFC championships this weekend. You have the Bengals going on the road playing at Kansas City. You have our boy, Joey B, as QB1 for the Bengals. Obviously, I think he's QB. I think he may be QB1 for all of the NFL. He's going up against probably the QB1 right now in Patrick Mahomes. He has a Super Bowl. He has an MVP. Joe Burrow is in the MVP race this year. I think that he has an opportunity to I don't know if the votes are already done or they're still voting on it based off of who's in the playoffs. But I think that, what he's doing has gained him a few more votes. Now, if he goes out and beats Patrick Mahomes for the 4th time in a row and they go to the Super Bowl for 2 straight years, I believe he is the number one. He's the best quarterback in the league.
It's hard to go into Kansas City and win the playoffs, and to do it twice in a row, I think that puts him at number 1.
Yep. And so we had that game this weekend. They are now favored. They would start the line open as them as dogs. Now they're favored.
You think that says something about Pat's ankle?
For sure.
No, because I saw him today and he doesn't even have a boot on and he's walking normal.
Yeah, but Vegas probably switched the line a little bit because that. But it opened as the Bengals being dogs, right? And they knew his ankle when it opened. When the line opened.
There's just no way he's 100% if it's really a high ankle
sprain.
sprain.
Oh, no, he's not 100%.
But also, my thoughts are what makes Mahomes is his ability to scramble around and then find Travis Kelce or find somebody else late in the pocket.
He's not going to be able to do that
he's not going to be able to do that if his ankle is 60%, 50%, especially against this Bengals front. I mean, they're playing well.
Well, and the way the defense is playing, the way that they design and disguise how they bring pressure. That's given a lot of these offenses issues throughout the course of the last part of the year, really, and the postseason. I mean, they've won 10 straight plus what they've won in the postseason. I think that big part of that is their defense, right? The way that they bring the pressure. Obviously, you have Hendricks in there, who's a baller, and you have Sam Hubbard on the other side, and you have
a good enough secondary.
Yeah, I mean, and they had a good secondary. Some of these guys got hurt, right? Awuzie got hurt. He was really good. Talking about secondary. Eli Apple can't shut his fucking mouth, huh?
They hate him. He's like.
I don't think his team likes him.
I'm surprised they haven't taken his Twitter away. I mean, that's they put it in his contract or something.
I just want.
Wait, did y'all see him?
I feel like he's just asking for something bad to happen.
Did you see what he did at the end of the game? He was standing on the bench
he's so.
I mean, here's what's gonna happen.
I wish he wasn't on Joe's team because I want them to win so bad, but I want him to play
If he goes out there and lays an egg and gets absolutely torched
and costs him the game or something,
right? Or he goes out there he is enemy number 1 next year. He's not gonna be the starter next year. Mm-hmm. He's just not. He wasn't gonna be the starter this year. He's lost his job and they had no defensive backs available, so he got back into that role. He puts a target on his back. He's not good enough to be able to have the target on his back, right? They're going to go at him. They're going to do some things. Now, I think the defensive coordinator for the Bengals puts him in a situation where he helps him, right? But, bro, Eli Apple needs to shut his mouth because he's doing a lot. He's doing the most, right? And so outside of him, I'm a Bengals. I love what the Bengals got going on. Obviously, Jamar Chase and all the boys over there, that they're doing their thing. They're going to have a matchup this weekend. It's going to be a fun matchup to watch. And then on the NFC side, you have the Eagles playing the Niners. And now, I mean, obviously, I think the Niners are going to go. I think that's who I picked. I picked the Bills, but now I'm going to have to say the Bengals and the Niners go. But NFL is a great product. They have their last weekend, the championship weekend of the year, and or championship weekend this weekend, and they only have a couple weekends left. So Super Bowl Sunday is coming up. We'll see what happens. I'm going to have a lot of live bets going on during that time. But with NFL season, the conclusion of NFL season means mock draft season, right? And that's a way that there's some LSU guys that have potential going in the first round. There's a lot of quarterbacks, the big thing. And Mel Kiper comes out with his my computer's messing up. There we go. Mel Kiper comes out with his mock draft 1.0, right? So we are going to look at that. I hate ESPN sometimes.
Got to sign into that plus.
Again, I already had it signed in. It just said it kicks me out. It's bullshit. All right, here we go.
The Jeopardy music.
Yeah, I know. And I got to wait. All right.
Crack open the Heineken Silver while you're waiting on Mikey to log into
There we go. There we go. All right. So he's got his mock drafts. He's got Jalen Carter from Georgia going 1 overall to the Bears. This is the Bears not trading their pick. Mm-hmm. Number 2, this is the one that I was like, oh, wow. Mm-hmm. He's got C.J. Stroud going number 2 to the Texans over Bryce Young. Mm-hmm. He likes C.J. Stroud over Bryce Young. I'm not sure about that.
I don't think it's a football talent thing. I think, what I read a lot about today was they're concerned about Bryce Young's weight.
Of course.
I get that. First-round quarterback in the last of a lot of years to be under 200 pounds.
Yeah, they're worried about being too frail.
I think if Bryce shows up to the combine at 200+, then he'll shut all that up. But
does he have the frame to carry that?
Yeah, I mean that's the question.
He's not a big runner. He can move, but he can carry some more weight. I'd imagine. Number 3's got Will Anderson. I think that's
the Cardinals don't trade their pick.
That's assuming if the Cardinals don't trade their pick. Indianapolis has the 4th pick. They would grab Bryce Young. Now, I'll tell you this.
The Colts would be so happy.
If the Colts got Bryce Young or C.J. Stroud, if they got either one of those guys, the Colts are primed they're in a position to be very good.
Just like when Andrew Luck got drafted.
Exactly. They have a good defense. They have a good offensive line normally. They have Jonathan Taylor, and they have pieces around this quarterback. It's not like they're going into it's not like they would be going to Houston.
I mean, if they hit on their head coach hire and get one of those two, then it's just like when Andrew Luck
Houston has
got
pieces.
Drafted.
They have some pieces.
They have a lot of money. Houston has a lot of money to go.
They have the ability to go get pieces.
Right. I mean, all they have to do is make a couple trades.
Right. Couple free agent signings, and Houston will be something. If
Will Levis
is coach more than 1 year.
Yeah. It depends on who they got. Obviously, Sean Payton sweepstakes is going to heat up. You'd imagine you'd hear where Sean's going to go in the next week, 2 weeks, whatever. Will Levis they have him going 5 to the Seahawks via the trade from Denver.
You think the Seahawks go quarterback?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. If they like Geno and they sign Geno, they're not going to get a quarterback. Or they do get a quarterback and let them behind Geno. I don't know if that's the case.
That's what I was about to ask. Would you use the 5th pick to get somebody that's going to sit behind Geno and learn?
Depends on what you sign. It depends on what you sign Geno at. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like how long is that deal? Are you going to sign him to a 5-year deal or a 3-year deal or what? But I mean Geno's getting older. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like I don't know how long he's got left.
I just think Will Levis stinks, but I think he's either gonna prove everybody that's like me wrong or prove him right. I don't think there's gonna be a middle ground where there's a debate if he was a bust or not. I think he's either gonna be really good or completely bust.
I don't know how good Will Levis is.
Me either. I think he's got talent. I just don't know how good. Because listen, if you're that good, you win. You can win. Yeah. Even at Kentucky, I don't care if you're at Kentucky. You can still win.
Like Johnny Manziel won it.
You can still win some games that you should win.
Johnny Manziel also had Mike Evans.
No, I get it.
He was at
I get it. I'm not saying.
Swope.
I'm not saying receivers. I'm not saying you got to win 10 games.
Yeah, no.
But you got to
look better than he did.
Yeah, I mean and Will Levis did have 23 interceptions the last 2 seasons.
Right.
So that doesn't look good at all.
Right.
If you consider yourself a top 10
he also just
pick.
never passed the eye test, really. Everybody's boosting him up. It's he never looked like a top 5
I mean,
pick.
he looks
as physically wise,
frame-wise, I'm talking when you're watching him play, you're like, nah.
He looks like normal, too.
Right.
I mean, he looks just as good as Richardson to me.
No, here's the other. That's my next question,
Richardson, the ball just comes out.
Yeah, but he's got, I think Richardson is a little bit more raw, right? So Richardson, he's 9. He's rated. He's in this mock draft. He is going 9th to the Panthers.
Yeah, Cam Newton 2.0.
Kuiper has this thing out on Richardson that's like NFL teams really love him as a prospect because he's so athletic.
Yeah, right.
And he's
so
like
strong,
Cam Newton with a little bit.
but he's just raw.
Right,
like,
for sure.
So,
and like, can you now if Sean goes to Carolina,
works out perfect for
nope,
him.
they're not going to have that pick.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
True.
You know what I mean? So I don't know where Sean's going. I don't know if he's going to go to Carolina, but, I mean, the Saints aren't going to say, yeah, you can have your 9th pick and have Sean Payton and draft your quarterback. No, that ain't happening. You're going to give us that pick. And then you're going to have to go either figure out someone in free agency or keep what you've got, right? So let's go down. Let's just keep going down the list of this mock draft. By the way, I think Joey Porter Jr. is an absolute baller.
He is a stud.
I think he's an absolute baller.
Definitely the top corner in this draft.
No doubt. No LSU guys in this one. They have Quinn Johnson from TCU. Is supposed to go to the Ravens.
You tell me Keyshawn's not a first-round pick? Damn.
Nope.
Shocker.
You got not one LSU guy. Now, look, this could all change.
You think Keyshawn can get in the first round from the Combine?
I don't think so. I don't think he's going to get in the first round. Maybe he gets to a second, third rounder. Maybe. I think third.
See, I don't think he's going to fall that far. He's too good. Like he's way too good. And I think
based off of what?
This year was was probably worst case scenario for him in terms of what he put on the field. But I
think if he has a good combine,
his just watching him like that last game against Georgia, NFL teams are gonna be like, shit,
he's got it for sure. But
like he has it.
His combine's gonna have to be. He's got to run like a sub 4.4.
I don't think he will.
He's gonna if he runs a sub 4.4, then they're gonna be like, oh, okay, his foot's good, he's running better. But then you have to go look at why. What is going on? Like, what's all that noise behind it? I'm not saying he's not good. I think he's very good. But Jared always makes a good point. He's like, you can be really good, but first round picks have to basically have proven it, right? And he's like, what has he done outside of having 3 really good games, right? Because he had that big game as a freshman where he had 300 yards, and that took up majority of his yards, right? And then he didn't play that full season. Then next year he only played half, but he had a good season. But he is getting all. How does he fit in an actual normal offense? That's Jared. It's always Jared's conversation, right? He's like, how does he fit in the offense? Can he fit in an offense? Can he run all the routes from different positions? Like, can he do that to where – because now in the NFL, everybody's got to run everything.
Right. And see, I don't think that'll be a problem for him. Like, he's played – at LSU, he played slot. He played outside. He played wherever they put him. If they wanted to, they could have put him in the backfield. Like, they just didn't really use him – in the full Keyshawn Booty mode that he is. I see Keyshawn as like a Percy Harvin. You could put him wherever you want, kick returner, punt returner. He is that type of athlete. He just didn't get that treatment at LSU.
Percy Harvin.
Yes, he is that freakish of an athlete.
I'm not saying you're wrong.
He probably should have been our punt returner and kick returner this year.
Yeah, I was
they just didn't give him do it. I guess he didn't want to, or Brian Kelly was like, we can't.
He didn't trust him. I don't think.
I know. Probably not, but I just didn't see why they wouldn't put it back. Coach O didn't put it back there though.
No, and there's a thing. They don't. A lot of NFL teams look at more than just the talent, right?
Oh, yeah,
they're gonna have to figure out talent can only get you so far.
Has to answer a lot of questions.
And if you're not gonna be able to fit in with the team and be able to be selfless at times, right? Obviously, everybody wants to go out and get theirs. And they want to do this stuff. And they want to be productive. That's fine. But if you're not able to fit into the system, and I'm not saying conform, you can still be your own personality, but be a good teammate basically, right? Work your ass off, do these types of things. If he doesn't show them or they're not bought into that, I'm not saying he can or cannot do that.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that's one of the things that is going to be asked.
And I think another thing at LSU, he was kind of in a situation where it was nobody else was really proven. And they kind of were like, Keyshawn, all right, go make a play every game. And that's pretty much what happened. If you watch...
You're talking about not this year.
Not this year, but in the past, 2020, 2021, he was basically the only guy that they had because Terrace opted out in 2020. And once Terrace opted out, it was all right, we got this freshman that we know can play.
Right.
So Keyshawn, go out there and make plays. And then 2021, it was even worse because we didn't have any of those guys, and we had guys that still weren't proven. And it was like, all right,
yeah, but like
Kayshawn go make plays.
But the not proven thing, I get that, but you still have to be able to say, okay, I'm gonna have to like throw it. So the conversations that we've had before in the past on Kayshawn is, listen, he put up some great numbers and he looked really good doing it, but it's because they were literally force feeding him the ball.
Right, that's what I'm
right?
saying.
So that is literally designing the offense for one player, right? And obviously that didn't win because just you can't do it that way, right? And like he did, like he put up good numbers, but having that type of volume and being able to get that many catches and that, like, of course you're going to be able to put the numbers up. Now, whenever you're trying to spread it out and actually run it the way a team is supposed to run it offensively, it didn't look that way. And I'm not saying he's not talented because I think he is. I just think that there's got to have to be a way. You have to see what happens if you're not getting force-fed the ball. Yeah. If you're not getting force-fed the ball, is it gonna look like 2022? Right? Is it gonna be where, you know, you're just kind of out of sync a little bit? Not saying you're intentionally doing it, but like, you know, maybe you took a play off on accident, not on accident, but like, you know, just it's not coming to me, but actually it is coming to me. And so those are things that they're gonna have to, because they're gonna watch the film, right? And I haven't dissected every game film that he's ever had, right? Every play, every route. That's what they're gonna do. And especially if you're a first rounder, they're gonna look at it. I think to me, if he runs a sub 4.4, obviously it's gonna raise some. Oh wow, okay, he's running. He's that guy, and then he's like, okay, he's gonna answer some questions. And I think second round, based off of what he did last year, I think that may be his ceiling this year. Yeah. Not saying he's not a first round talent. I think he's a first round talent, but I mean, look, DK went in the second round.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, George Pickens went in the second round.
Right, right. And George Pickens injury issues, but you know, that's there.
With Kayshawn.
Right. Second round is the second pick of the team. Like, they're still a very hot commodity for that team. I still think Ojulari could still, BJ could still sneak into the first round. I mean, they may not have a first rounder this year, but I think they're going to have a decent amount of guys drafted between the 2nd and the 7th for sure. But next year, you're gonna have some dudes. I think Malik's a first rounder
for sure, bonafide.
You know, if he goes out and does what he's supposed to do, I think he's a first rounder.
I've heard that NFL scouts have said that Malik Neighbors was the best receiver on LSU's roster last year.
I said that last year too. Like, I believed it.
Like, yeah, I believe
this
it
year.
Too.
Like, I believed it. Like, you watched the way he ran routes. You watched him catch contested balls. You watched him go out and get ball. Like, you just.
He's just a player. Like,
he's a good kid and he works his ass off, and like that's what you see. So I think that you're going to see a difference. Obviously, you're going to have, you know, your quarterback next year, depending on where he goes, but he has a chance to move up. You're going to have more guys drafted higher next year, and then the next year after that, you're going to have.
I mean, next year
you may have 2 tackles drafted in the first round the next year.
The receiver class is loaded.
He's draft eligible next year.
Who?
Mason Smith. He'll be a junior.
Oh, Mason Smith will be draft eligible next year. Yeah, I was thinking Taylor. Yeah, for sure. But
the year after that, you got Pert, the 2 tackles, and maybe some of the other guys.
Mason Taylor.
Well, Taylor. Mason Taylor. You also have, you know, Nussmeier will be draft eligible that year. Technically, Nussmeier's draft eligible next year, but
he'll get another year.
Yeah. He's not going to play next year. I mean, he may get 2 more years after that. Yeah. You know, he'll be a 5th-year senior, possibly. But yeah, I mean, we ain't got to go the whole show today, boys. Y'all got anything else y'all want to talk about? Brian Ingram's coming back.
Yeah, he is
tonight.
Did
they start?
I think they might be just starting.
I think it's maybe started at 7.
Hey, do you think the accounting person at LSU got fired?
Probably. $1 million
suspended.
Is big.
Hiatus.
Yeah. I mean, that's not like, hey, we overpaid you $10,000. No. You have $1 million. You added too many zeros.
And he made a $1 million donation to Taft for that big building or whatever, the big training facility for all the athletes.
Oh yeah.
So you think that's what it was? That's why he did it?
I don't know, but it cancels out, I think, if he donated it right back.
Yeah. Of course. I mean, he didn't pocket it and change whatever.
Instead of 11, he still
anything is gonna. Well, the donation is gonna help with his taxes. Like anything, it'll help. It'll, you know, he'll have to pay more in taxes, but that's what the $1 million donation helps for his taxes.
Tax write-off.
501c3.
We all got making it to the Super Bowl. I got the Bengals and Eagles.
Eagles.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think Philly gets it done.
I think Philly too. I think Bengals.
Okay.
Eagles, because
You don't believe in Brock Purdy?
It's
I
not
do,
that
I
I don't
just-
believe in him. It's just like
I think
at
Hurts
the end
is
of the
that
day,
much better.
at some point, it's gonna show that he's a 7th round pick. And,
Is it?
And
They didn't ever do that with
Sunday. It looked like he started to show signs.
He had a
of
good
his-
game though.
He did have a good game, but then some parts of the game was like, all right.
I think
you still not.
I agree with Stewie's point. I think he'll play fine. I just think Hurts is better.
Yeah.
I think the Eagles might be a little deeper, and I think Philly will get it done. They're at home, right? Is that Philly?
Yes. Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, the 49ers defense is real.
Yeah.
Eagles
Real.
defense is real too, though.
Yeah, but I've seen the Eagles defense give up some points.
Yeah.
I haven't really seen the 49ers really give up many points. Now, this is going to, so I think it was Orlovsky. Somebody said this on ESPN. He's like, I haven't been this, no, it wasn't Orlovsky. It was, who does Monday Night Football? Not Monday Night Football, Sunday Night, wait, no. It's, the guy who's a GM, he played football in the NFL.
Is it
Black dude, you know what I'm talking about? Like he's like the
not Bucky Brooks.
No.
Damn, I'm blanking on his
Why
name.
can't I think of his name?
Charles Davis?
Nope. Let's see. Anyway. He makes a great point. He's like, I haven't been this excited to watch a game that had this type. Like, I'm excited because of the running games. I'm watching. I want to see the running games do whatever, right? So you're gonna have the two best running teams in the NFL going against each other this week.
Louis Riddick.
Louis Riddick, that's who it is. So it's gonna be interesting to see that. There's gonna be a lot of prop bets on these running backs because the Niners have more obviously on their roster that are gonna put them on, but then you also have Jalen Hurts, the running back, too. He's a great quarterback, but he's gonna run the ball in. So it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a fun weekend.
Miles Sanders ain't a slouch, coach.
No, I like Miles Sanders a lot for sure. But I'm just saying they only have those two, and then Boston Scott, he's from Baton Rouge.
Yeah, but they got that. Like Jalen said, it's just a Philly thing, but he's not lying. Like when Philly's good, it's hard to go in there and beat them.
Yeah. Oh, dude, Philly fans are nuts.
Yeah.
Nuts.
And they won the Super Bowl with Nick Foles.
Yeah, and the Eagles have way more weapons than the 49ers.
Whoa.
Than they've seen. I'm not saying they have more weapons than they have.
Okay. Than
like
they've seen.
they haven't seen AJ Brown, Smitty. Like they haven't seen those receivers.
I get it.
every week.
I get that.
Well, the 49ers got Kittle and
the
CMC
49ers have.
Yeah, but that's a tight end. That's a tight end, a running back, and a receiver.
Yes, Debo. You have
and
Kittle.
Ayuk.
You have Brandon Ayuk. You have McCaffrey. You have Elijah Mitchell. Like they have some dudes there too.
Yeah, I think the Eagles have the advantage at the spot that it matters in quarterback.
Okay, who's a better coach? I mean, I guess you don't. I mean, Sirianni's younger. He hasn't been there as long, but
Shanahan's a good coach.
Yeah. That's my point. That's what I mean. Like, who's going to be able to scheme it up a little bit better?
Wasn't Shanahan on the Falcons staff that
he was the offensive coordinator?
So you could say we could point at that and say, can he get it done?
And D'Amico Ryans is the hottest commodity.
D'Amico Ryans is a stud,
like an absolute stud.
I'm surprised he had.
I think that'll be a good game.
It's gonna be fun.
I think that might be.
Both games are gonna be awesome.
Yeah,
both games are gonna be awesome.
I think we might see like a overtime or game winning field goal though in the Philly game.
Like a 27-24.
Yeah, like
game.
really close. I think Joey B and them, like if Pat has ankle trouble, you might see them kind of 7-point, 10-point at the end.
And the Chiefs
pull it away.
The Chiefs don't have good DBs. Like their DBs are just as.
Well, you can go get them.
They seem to not be able to
cover Jamar at all.
Or beat Joe.
Yeah,
they're 0-3 against Joe.
It's gonna be cold as shit over there.
It's cold as shit in Buffalo.
Yeah, but it's colder. I think it's gonna be colder in.
It's gonna be
Kansas
like
City.
10 degrees or something.
Yeah. Oh
Joe
my goodness.
don't care.
No, I know.
I'm curious to see his pregame fit. He busted out the legendary turtleneck and chain last year. in Kansas City.
He doesn't miss, bro.
No, he doesn't.
Jamar picks his outfits out for him.
What?
Jamar picks his outfits out for him for sure.
No doubt. Well, he said it. He said that. Joe said that.
Drop it off.
He said, I don't pick out my outfits. Jamar picks them out for me, which is great, which is awesome.
They're neighbors, so he's like, Jamar, should I wear this? Nah, bro, I got you.
It's gonna be a good Sunday.
It is going to be a good. It's not. I think one's on Saturday, one's on Sunday. Are they both on Sunday?
I think they're both on Sunday.
Are they both on Sunday?
I think they are.
Nice, perfect. 'Cause I got a wedding on Saturday. That's great. Great, love that. We made it through another day. The internet did not crap out.
Oh my goodness,
I thought we had a little internet trouble early on. Didn't work. It didn't come back to haunt us, which is nice. All right, let's go through the seggies, boys.
Curtain call brought to you by Doe's.
Curtain call brought to you by Doe's Place. I went to eat lunch there today at Doe's. Best burgers, bro. They best. You've had one, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I've gone there for brunch. I haven't
Is
had
it
a burger.
the steak tip burger?
Just it's like they shave all the steak shavings they ground into. Dude, it is probably the best burger in town. I went there. They only serve it for lunch.
Mm.
Went there today.
I've been there for brunch. I've never been there for the lunch.
Great. We should do it. We're gonna do it. We're gonna go there, shoot a little commercial. Do the whole thing. All right. Curtain call is brought to you by Doe's Place. You got one?
Yeah, it's the ESPN. It's not in the doc because of copyright, but they had the Make-A-Wish kid go on air with Marcus Spears and them.
Oh, yeah.
And, Marcus put his arm around him and they showed him everything. It was cool.
That's awesome. Love that. You got one? No curtain call? You don't have to have one.
Yeah, all right. I mean, I'll give mine to Angel Reese. Angel Reese has been
2020
dominating.
broke the record of double
Broke the record. She's probably going to be one of the record holders in all categories of LSU when she leaves here.
It doesn't stop now. She
Yeah,
can
and
still
Kim
keep adding.
So LSU women's basketball is on.
Bringing some energy.
Well, another thing to add to the women's basketball is they went to the Baton Rouge.
They went to Angola today, I think.
Yeah, they went to prison and played with the inmates and ate with the inmates, heard their stories, signed some autographs. I bet you that was really cool.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah. That's a pretty cool experience. My curtain call. Can you play it? I have the it's on underneath the deal. Yeah, I got you. So my curtain call, and the reason why I have this, right? You don't see a lot of high level athletes. You just imagine them being like high level, right? You don't see the human side technically of the athlete. You just think, oh, they go out there, they play, they're kind of machines, they do what they want to do, and you don't see like all the stuff, kind of what Kolby was talking about. You don't see the stuff that they put in throughout, the back in the background, and like all the work they put in, all the sacrifices. Part of those sacrifices are the parents of the player, right? Have to take up to games growing up. You have to practice and all these types of things, and have to be able to put them on the right track to be able to get to where they need to be, so that whenever they are on their own, and whenever they are, in Major League Baseball or NFL or wherever, they're able to, take what they have learned from you as parents and be able to be their own person. And Scott Rowland got inducted into the Hall of Fame. I believe it was his last opportunity to go. Maybe not, but he's been there for like 6 times or something like that. And he got inducted. He's the only person this year inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame.
I thought that was crazy.
Only one on the ballot that made it, right? And so there's a video that was posted by the Reds of him telling his mom and dad that he made it. He's in the Hall of Fame, and I think it was really cool. Can you play it?
What do we know?
Beltran didn't make it?
Beltran's not going to make it, bro.
There were some names on the ballot though where I was like, wow.
Gary Sheffield needs to make it. He has last chance in next year. He deserves to be in. And then he goes to his dad, and his dad like.
I'll make it there. Where's Pop? There it is. Oh.
It just means a lot, right? Like it's just.
A lot of sacrifice from those two for him to get there.
No doubt, and it's just it's nice to see it, and like it's cool to see these things, right? And you see like the human side of sports, and how much it means to a lot of people, not just the guy who makes it. And so a lot of times, the person who makes the Hall of Fame, it's great, but he likes it, or he cherishes it because of all the people around him that have supported him and been there. So that's my curtain call.
Barry Bonds needs to be in the Hall of Fame, too.
I agree with that.
While we're talking about
Pete Rose needs to be in it. Barry Bonds needs to be in it. Listen to me, and I've talked about this a lot. Baseball has a bunch of eras throughout the course of baseball. You have the dead ball era. You have the live ball era. You have the steroid era. You have all this kind of stuff, right? That's part of the history of baseball. So That's everybody. Majority of the people were taking something at that point. Not everybody was on steroids, but a lot of them were. I would say the vast majority of the guys in the big leagues at that time, in that time frame, were on steroids. Pitchers, hitters, all of them, right? He was on steroids, hitting balls out. Well, the pitcher he's facing majority of the time probably was on steroids too. You know what I mean? So the whole thing is that was part of the era. That was it. Barry Bonds was a Hall of Famer with or without steroids. Barry Bonds had 3 MVPs before 1990 when he was with the Pirates and he wasn't on steroids. He was going to be a 500. He's going to have 500 homers and 500 stolen bases before he even got on the steroids, right? So to say that he doesn't deserve to be in there, I think is just short-sighted. I think it's outdated. You got to get over it. Like, you can be mad, but that's all part of the history of baseball. He deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. All those guys deserve to be in the Hall of Fame. Roger Clement, like all of them, they all deserve to be in there, right? And obviously you put one in, you got to put them all in. I definitely think Pete Rose deserves to be in the Hall of Fame, though, for sure, too. Like, it's just, let's get past this. I don't think we ever will, but let's get past it. I'm with you.
Moving on.
Good show today, boys. Good show. We got through another one.
Yep.
We got through another one. We are next man up. We are moving on. We're getting on. Listen, baseball season is right around the corner. It's about to be February. Once February hits, like, whoa, here we go. We're happening. I'm going to try to I think we're going to get Jay Johnson on next week. Let's preview a little bit what to expect going into the baseball season. And we're going to have a lot more baseball content for you moving forward. I am just trying to bridge the gap until we have our full team back available so that we can, give you the show that you have grown accustomed to watching. Until then, you're going to have to deal with me talking a whole lot, which I know you may not like. And you're going to have Jackie Boy in here and Stewie in here. We're all going to everybody's holding their own end of the rope. We're going to figure this thing out. We're going to keep pushing forward. Hold the rope.
Hold the rope.
Hold the rope. All right. Please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Please tell a friend. Please tell them where you've seen our show. If you enjoy what you're watching, thank you. If you don't enjoy what you're watching, we'll try to get better for you. We're on all podcast networks, so if you don't like to watch us and you just want to listen to us, then wherever you get your podcast, we are there for you. And we will be back. I believe we will be having a show on Friday. I will talk to the boys. It'll be earlier. It's not going to be 4:30 to 6. It'll be an hour-and-a-half show like our normal Friday light shows. We're going to figure out the time. We're going to post it and let you know. Obviously, it's not going to be the same show it will be in the future because we don't have everybody here, but we still want to give you a show. So you're watching Mik'd Up. We appreciate all of your attention. We appreciate you supporting us, and we'll see y'all again on Friday. Peace.